Welcome to The Explainer. Now, you've definitely heard of 5G for your phone, but what about everything else? There's a whole new universe of devices coming online, and RedCap is the technology that's going to connect them all. Today, we're going to unpack exactly how it works. All right, here's our game plan. First, we'll look at what I'm calling the 5G Goldilocks problem. Then we'll introduce RedCap as the perfect solution. We'll break down what reduced really means in this context, see where you'll actually use it in the real world, understand how it talks to the network, and finally we'll look at what this all means for the future of, well, everything. So to really get why RedCap is such a big deal, we first have to talk about a problem. A big gap, really. It's a kind of Goldilocks problem right in the middle of the 5G world. I mean, just think about it for a second. On one hand, you've got these incredibly powerful devices like your phone that need blazing fast speeds. And on the other hand, you've got super simple smart meters that just need to send a tiny blip of data once in a while. But what about all the stuff in the middle? Let's break that down. On one end of the 5G spectrum, you've got full power MEB. It's for things like your smartphone, and it is all about raw speed, but man, it burns through power. Way over on the other end, there's low power tech, like NB-IoT or narrowband IoT. It's perfect for those simple sensors that can last for years on a single battery. The issue? There's this massive empty space between them for devices that need more than just a trickle of data, but don't need the power or the cost of a full-blown smartphone chip. And that is exactly where RedCap comes in. It was designed from the ground up to be the just right solution to fill that gap. Officially, it's called RedCap, which stands for Reduced Capability, and it was formally introduced in the 3GPP Release 17 standard with one specific purpose: to create this brand new middle ground category of 5G devices. So really, if you remember one thing, remember this. RedCap is the Goldilocks of 5G. It's not trying to have the absolute max performance, and it's not trying to have the absolute minimum power. It's all about finding that perfect, incredibly efficient balance between both. Okay, but let's be honest. Reduced capability sounds a little like a downgrade, right? But it's not about being weaker. It's actually all about being smarter and way more efficient. Let me show you what I mean. So how does RedCap pull off this magic trick? Well, a few clever ways. First, it uses much narrower bandwidth. Think of it like needing only one small, efficient lane on the data highway instead of a giant 6-lane superhighway. It also needs fewer antennas, just one or two instead of the 4 or more in your phone. That alone makes devices simpler and cheaper. And it has a few other optional tricks, like using a less complex data language and something really important called half-duplex communication. Let's zoom in on that last one, because it's a huge deal. Half-duplex is one of RedCap's superpowers, and the best way to think about it is like a walkie-talkie. You push to talk, then you let go to listen. You literally cannot do both at the same time. For a device that just needs to send or receive data in short bursts, instead of having a constant simultaneous conversation, this is an absolutely massive power saver. Okay, that's enough of the tech talk. This is cool, but where are we actually going to see this stuff in the real world? Let's dive into the kinds of devices RedCap is about to completely change. Right now, we're looking at 3 main areas where RedCap is going to be a total game changer: industrial sensors in smart factories, video surveillance for things like smart cities, and of course, high-performance wearables, from smartwatches to AR glasses. First up, industrial sensors. I want you to picture a giant factory floor, or maybe a massive farm, just covered in thousands of tiny sensors measuring everything from temperature and pressure to soil moisture. See, in a factory, you need near-perfect reliability and super quick response times to prevent problems. But you absolutely can't have people running around changing thousands of batteries every few months. RedCap nails this. It delivers that crucial reliability while just sipping power, making a multi-year battery life a real possibility. Next up, smart video surveillance. And don't just think security cameras here. Think bigger. Think smart city applications, monitoring traffic flow, and retail analytics. Now, these cameras don't need the full fire hose of a smartphone's 5G connection, but they do need enough bandwidth to send a clear, reliable video stream. RedCap hits that sweet spot perfectly. It delivers that moderate data rate without the high cost and power drain, which suddenly makes widespread smart city monitoring actually affordable. And finally, the devices many of us will end up wearing: high-performance wearables.
This includes everything from smartwatches and health monitors to the next generation of AR and VR headsets.
I mean, let's be honest, for wearables, battery life is king. No one wants a smartwatch that's dead by lunchtime. RedCap provides the perfect connection for notifications and health data while being so efficient that it helps push that battery life from just hours into multiple days, maybe even weeks. That's a game changer. So you might be wondering, how does this actually work? When a RedCap device powers on, how does the big 5G network know it's not just another smartphone? Well, it all comes down to a clever little digital handshake.
We can simplify this complex process into 4 basic steps. First, the network broadcasts a signal, basically shouting out, "Hey, I support RedCap." The RedCap device hears that and connects using a special on-ramp just for it. The network then follows up, asking, "Okay, who are you and what can you do?" And finally, the device confirms its identity, replying, "I'm a Release 17 RedCap device."
And this handshake isn't just a cute metaphor, it's literally written into the network's code. For example, our source material shows the technical log for that very first step. It says, GNB broadcast RedCap feature support via SIB1. Now, I know that sounds like a bunch of technical jargon, but that's the real-world command for what we just described.
So yeah, all that technical-sounding stuff, it's really just the network putting out a big digital welcome RedCap devices sign for everyone to see. It's this clear, simple communication that makes the whole system work together so seamlessly.
All right, so let's bring this all together. What is the big picture impact of RedCap? Because this is about so much more than just a new type of signal. It's about enabling a whole new future for connected devices.
So what's the ultimate outcome here? By being reduced in a smart way, RedCap directly attacks the biggest hurdles for the Internet of Things. It dramatically lowers the device cost, it massively extends battery life, and it makes the devices themselves way simpler to build. It's removing the biggest barriers to the mass adoption of a truly connected world.
You see, this technology fills a critical gap, making millions of new IoT applications both economically and technically possible for the first time. So it leaves us with one really exciting question to think about. With the just right connection finally here, what will we connect next?